Hello everyone, Griffin here, and today we are in War of the Gods. Okay, let's go to see the battles. Okay, last video I showed you the battles against Becus and Astro. Then I forfeit this one, then I got this one. I am not sure if it's interesting enough, to be honest. Only the second one. The first one I think is clear why I won. So, as always, I open with Halberd Master, but the moment my opponent went with Spell Sword Spell? I don't remember how the name of the first guy. So he shuts down physical things very well. So I just chose magical damage dealers that will not compromise my ability to use other teams. And a tank in Matchless Hammer. And my opponent, well, as I said, I don't think it's very worth it, but I guess it can be fun to watch. So do not take seriously the team that I used in this first battle. I only did it because my opponent had the Spell Swordsman or whatever he's called. I cannot use physical teams against that guy. Let me speed it up a little bit. And well, as you can see, it's Dead Mage is like, this battle is mine. So there was not much problem here. The second one was interesting. My opponent started. So I with Imperial Marshal, so I went with the start of the Anti-Master Mage, which is Holy Priestess and Void Master. The good thing about that is that I still can change my team to do something else with it. For the other three heroes are Evil Rabbit, Cross Knight, and Skeleton Mage. But if I choose any of the other three at the start, then most other possibilities are out. With the exception of maybe Cross Knight, but still. So my opponent, I don't know if my opponent probably saw it coming, so he went with Ninetale Fox and Dragon Lord. So I changed my strategy. I went with Ninetale Fox and Cleric. Cleric against Imperial Marshal is almost a must just to survive. Then my opponent went with Ancient Statue and Werewolf. I assume Werewolf is because of his wolves, his clones or whatever. To get what is it called? To disperse damage. Then I went with Turtle Fighter because I wanted to turn my opponent's Imperial Marshal. And with Shadow Reaper as substitute, no explanation needed. I'm gonna put it in ×1 velocity again. Okay, so far there's nothing weird there. And here it's a good thing that my Void Master was able to control Ninetale Fox. First with his ultimate and then with his green skill. So far things are still going well. I don't know if Imperial Marshal is on my side of the field or no, I have no idea. Maybe, who knows. I have no idea where he went. And my Turtle Fighter is hitting a rock for whatever reason. And so that's how that fight ended. Alright. Now, let's see. I think the next one is interesting too. Yeah. So here I started with Halberd Master. My opponent went Halberd Master Turtle. Turtle is not a bad idea against any physical team because his role blinds heroes. So I went physical, not a problem. My opponent went Death Mage and Sorceress. I mean, Sorceress is a good idea in the sense that her ball pushes back Halberd Master when he first goes into your team. But because of that, I went with Arcane Sapper, so Arcane Sapper will take the ball and my Halberd Master will be able to redirect some damage inside. And then with Lunar Guardian because he is very, very strong. And as I said in another video, just except that I said it about Shadow Leaf, there are very strong heroes that you cannot use everywhere. Lunar Guardian is one of them. He's a very strong physical damage dealer, but because he doesn't have HP in the training field, it's a little harder for him to survive, so you have to either protect him well with support or use a thing that will make sure that he will not die before doing his ultimate. In this case, having an offensive presence on my opponent's side of the field with Arcane Sapper and Halberd Master will ensure that. Then my opponent went with Ninetale Fox and what is the name? Thunderbeast. You see, in my opponent's, if I was in my opponent's shoes, I would have gone with Thunderbeast as 5th hero and then Ninetale Fox as substitute, because the initial attacks of Thunderbeast are monstrous, the initial burst, and the ultimate of Ninetale Fox is actually more devastating than that of Thunderbeast, and when the substitute comes out, it's very soon to do his ultimate, or it's her, whatever. And then I went with Witch. It's never a bad idea to use Witch against Death Mage, to be honest. So let's go. And that's what I was talking about when I said offensive presence on my opponent's side of the field. Because that will not only make my opponent's Ninetale Fox ultimate on the wrong side of the field, but will also help me to kill some of them or to do enough damage so that the rest of my team can actually finish them off. And that's one great advantage that Halberd Master has. He cannot be harmed during his ultimate, so he can ultimate on Witch when she has her ultimate up, and he will not take some damage. He will not take any damage, which is a little... I don't think it should be allowed to work like that, but oh well, what can you do? But I still won. My general strategy at the start of the fight is what sealed the victory for me. And even when Lunar Guardian was not able to do that much damage, the fact that he did like 30 to 40,000 to Sorceress and Death Mage and Ninetale Fox allowed the rest of my heroes to kill them pretty quickly. Now the second fight, my opponent started and went with Hercule, so it's a tank. In this case I didn't have much reason not to go with my Master Mage team, so I started Sorceress and Thunder Beast. Once again, I start with those two because I can do Master Mage with them, I can do a Burst team, I can do a Vanguard Warrior team if for whatever reason I need to. Then my opponent went with Arcane Sapper and Cleric. Cleric is a great choice. Arcane Sapper, in my opponent's shoes, I would have put it as substitute because Arcane Sapper jumps to the hero with the highest intellect, which, if I'm correct, in the game the hero with the highest intellect is Master Mage, so he will help to kill my Master Mage quicker. Then I went with Manipulator just to try and cancel some ultimates and to have some control, and then Magic Breaker to avoid too much damage from the... No wait, in this case I didn't know yet, so I just did it to not get control while my heroes are making their ultimates after Master Mage dies. Then my opponent went with Shadow Reaper, which is always a great choice, although the ultimate of Magic Breaker can help your heroes to take the damage better. And then Holy Priestess, so then I went with Master Mage, Shadow Reaper, my opponent with Witch. And let's see how it went. Okay, so far not much of a problem. Then the ultimate of Manipulator to control the heroes, which is working pretty well actually. Goodbye. So the only hero to be concerned right now is Witch. So ultimate by Sorceress, and that's it. So once again, this was just strategy, like thinking ahead. And one thing, I'm not that good at it anymore because I don't practice so much in the test server as I used to. Not necessarily with War of the Gods, but just with normal fights. I really like to think on the timing of certain skills, which is what allows me to think what is the synergy between this hero and this hero. That's why I'm usually in trouble when I get faced against the new heroes, because I'm not that used to face them and I don't practice. Pretty much I don't practice at all anymore in the test server. I don't have the time for it. But, well, that's another victory. Then the next one I forfeit, and I guess that's it for now. Let's see the record. 45 wins, 42 losses. Oh, that's fine. So a few days ago, too bad that it's not saved anymore. I was playing, I don't know, it was after midnight, and I fell asleep while playing, so very weird heroes were chosen, and I still won one of the 3 fights. Like I lost the first one, then I won the second one with some random heroes. It was so funny. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment and share with your friends. And I will see you next time. Griffin out.